Good morning, children. Today we will study about the major trade centers. Major trade centers. The major trade center in the country at the time are basically trade centers of the country is a place which facilitates export and import of goods, services, finance and technology. So all those places which facilitates the export and imports of goods and services, finance and technology in the country are called the trade centers of the country. Now in India we have major trade centers. The major trade centers at the time of British rule, where basically the Madras, Bombay, Kolkata, Delhi, Ujjain and Travancore, today it is known as Tiruvananthapuram. And the capital of India at that time was basically Calcutta. So out of these, Calcutta, Madras and Bombay were the most important cities because they provided the port connectivity for export of raw materials to Britain and import of finished goods from it. So out of these, Madras, Bombay and Calcutta were the most important trade centers because they provided the port facility to export the goods from India to Britain and from import the goods from Britain to India. After independence, Mumbai and Ahmedabad developed into major centers. So after independence, Mumbai and Ahmedabad became the important center for the export of cotton and textile industry. And at present, Bangalore is known as the information technology hub and Mumbai is called the economic capital of India. Now, what were the major import and exports? What all things we used to import and what all things we used to export? Where all from which all country we used to import it and from which all countries we used to export it is basically what we are going to study now. Now, composition of imports. Indian government restricted import immediately after the independence to attain self-sufficiency. But in the second 5-year plan, government allowed import of capital goods for industrial development. So when the British left India, that is after independence, the government restricted the import items. Why? So that to make India a self-sufficient country. And as a result, in the first 5-year plan, the India became self-sufficient in the agriculture and other things. But after the first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan came, in that there was the need for the industrial development, and for that the government needed the raw materials from outside country. So in the second 5-year plan, government allowed import of capital goods. Why? For the development of the industries in India. And then they also allowed the export the items from outside India to boost the growth of the Indian economy. Import of necessary technology, materials and crucial raw materials could lay the foundation for industrial progress. This would generate export production for earning foreign exchange. So more and more goods were imported, raw materials were imported from the country, the technology was imported and the other raw materials were imported so that to develop the country industrially. And once the country developed industrially, then surplus items were developed and then it were exported throughout the world to increase the foreign exchange of the country. Then in 1970s, there was government finally gave a definite shape to the country's export policy. So the country's export policy was given in the year 1970s. In 1960s, India's import comprised capital goods. In 1960, we used to import the capital goods, then iron and steel, petroleum, oil and lubricants, ferrous metal, chemical elements, fertilizers and pearls, precious and semi-precious stones. So all these things we used to import from the countries. From where, what were the destinations? So from where we used to import? We basically used to import in the 1960s and 61, used to import the goods from USA, China, UK, Germany, Japan, Iran, France, Russia, Belgium, and Saudi Arabia. So these were the countries from where we used to import the goods from the throughout the world. Then what are the things we used to export? India's export was largely agro-based. We know that India is an agricultural country, so all the exports were basically agro-based in 1950. The principal traditional items like textile, jute and tea were produced in the country, and half of the country used to export the textile, jute and tea. But in 1970s, government finally gave a definite shape to the country's export policy, and we used to export the engineering goods, ready-made garments, leather items, gems, jewelry, chemicals and marine products were the things we used to export. Which all country we used to export? We basically used to export in the UK, US, Soviet Union, Japan, Russia, Germany and France. These nations accounted for more than 50% of our total exports. So total 50% of our total export goes into the UK, USA, Soviet, Japan, Russia, Germany and France. Why export is done? Export is basically done to earn the foreign exchange in the country, to increase our foreign exchange reserves in the country. Now the position of India in the world economy is very good. The Indian subcontinent is the region of South Asia. We live in South Asia, and our neighbors are basically Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan and Maldives. Our population is near about 150 crores and we are 20% of the world's population, and India is a very rapidly developing economy. According to the Human Development Index, that is called HDI. HDI is a comparative measure of life expectancy, literacy and income for living standards. So HDI is an institution which measures the quality of the people in the country, and in the South Asia we are at the number 3, just after the Sri Lanka, Maldives, and we are in the 3rd number, and our HDI index is basically 0.625. But this was the data of much before. Now it might have changed, because after the Indian government's good progress, the Indian country is increasing at a very fast rate. So with this we have completed the chapter. Thank you.